A stream of consciousness.
Inspired by one word.
Hello, this is One Word Breakdown. I'm C1.
I'm C2. So the way we start our shows is like by a slate like this, and I thought we were restarting, but then I was like, oh, she's starting. So that's why this little
I was like, oh, do I need to do it?
And then she never leaves me hanging because she's a good friend. So she did it too to make me seem normal. And that's true love. So what's our word for today?
What is it?
No.
All right.
What was there?
Refresh. Refresh.
You're the best
around. Something to let you down.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So many things pop in my head with Access. What you got?
So many. But for some reason, Access Hollywood came to my mind first. Yeah, like that shitty trash show where it's like, learn what, blah, 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 blah. Like I got sucked into Facebook yesterday on this stupid thing, watching celebrities who look alike, and then watching celebrities 10 years later, or like,
oh my gosh, that's my secret pleasure.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so dumb. It's the biggest waste of time.
Celebrities whose name you never thought could be possible. Like, stupid shit. Like, Angelina's real name, and then it'll be like zoop zoop Angelina Voigt, and you're like, okay, I thought that was one.
Yeah, that big. Yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Anyway, yeah.
Right. Access. So Access, I thought of like Access in like justice and equity terms. I thought about Access with the Microsoft Office Access program.
Great.
I thought about Access, like people with disabilities.
Oh, yours is so much better than my Hollywood.
No, I also thought about a Microsoft Office program. So let's just not worry too much about the morality of our. So let's go with the Microsoft Access first.
Yeah.
So Access is a database, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really know much about it, but it doesn't seem to be used all that much.
Anymore, really.
Huh?
I don't think many people use it much anymore.
Not
really.
many people do. But like, there's this dude at where I work, and of course it's a dude.
He's all into it. He downloads
like, I understand Microsoft Access. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like,
oh my gosh, it's data entry. Good for you.
Yeah, I can use exactly. I'm like, it's a program that's basically like fancier data entry, and people who don't understand it think it's hard. Like, I could take a seminar and know it tomorrow. Like, I don't think I need to be too concerned with your knowledge of Microsoft Access. And literally, like, on his list, I understand Access. So what?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he brags about that. That is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I understand Gmail.
It's like, I understand the Google Office suite.
They have like Google Docs. It's like Microsoft, like way different.
But resumes have that on there. They'll say like Google Office suite. I'm like, yeah, duh. Like what?
Like what? If you don't understand the Microsoft, that is literally like the 50th thing on my list of things I know, because you should know it.
Everyone,
it is part of life.
Basic tool.
Oh.
I guess that's
one time this person told me a story.
That's a little bit elitist, speaking of Access.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit elitist. We grew up with computers.
Oh, God.
We had access. We are privileged. Access. And that's why you don't always bring your first ideas to the party, because you depress everyone. And then you get teased as an SJW by your husband. Did I give you that?
I'm
That's the one I gave you.
Yeah. It's the American Indian one you gave me.
Yeah. It
I
looks
love it. I wear it all the time. This is the most worn bracelet in my repertoire.
solid. That's what
I wear it
wanted.
all the time.
That's
all the time.
old too. Like I got you that how long?
Years ago.
10 years. 10 years? 11 years.
11 years ago. Why do you know that? Because of pre-B.
No. Alexa, your daughter.
What?
When I gave it to you.
You gave it to me. I'm not following. 11 years ago?
Am I misremembering when I gave it to you?
I don't remember.
I thought I gave it to you when she passed.
She passed away 13 years ago.
Then it's 13 years old.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was that a gift after she passed? Like right after? Yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah. Aw. Yeah. Oh, I love it even more.
I wanted something for you that you would like. I don't know.
Dude, I love it. It seriously is like a staple. It makes me feel, I put it on and I feel really powerful.
You should. That's what it was for. That's what it was for. It was like the Wonder Woman fucking like,
Yeah. Cuff. Like, oh,
I got this.
that's right. Yeah, I love it. So thank you again.
You're welcome. I got all stumbled up because I said her name and I wasn't sure like what to do.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm way less worried about the 12 people knowing my name.
I know. Like it's just I don't know. I'm trying to have best practices.
It's good.
Best-
It's good. We need processes. I would talk about processes.
best
Then I'm gonna feel elitist.
Wait, what?
Because then I'll feel like I had access to process.
Oh my God, don't white guilt us right now. You're not bad for having access. We just need to remember that we did.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have no problems teaching anybody anything. I love it.
Yeah.
But also like I also there are resources when you're in a place where you've got the resources and you don't take advantage of them for whatever reason, that pisses me off. And I'm not talking about the general public. I'm talking about in business. When you have the resources that somebody provides for you, like, hey, here it is for you. Sit down. Here's a computer. You know, here's all these resources. And you're just like, nah, I hate that. Because we learned a lot of stuff on our own. Like, yeah, we had access and we had some resources. But literally going to college was like, figure it out. And we were like,
and
okay. And we did.
We did.
But, you know, not everybody can do that. But I mean, when it is given to you and you have offered help and you're just like, nah.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because everybody else has to pick up your slack.
Right. That's right. No, I hear you. So I think it's hard because I think considering access, because the internet is not nuanced and you can't actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
Or just reading these like short things. I think people get turned off to conversations of justice and access and equity because they feel bad. Oh God, I feel bad. Like when you say it, right?
Oh man, I love to be reminded of it.
Yeah, but like, well, you said, oh no, like if I say it,
I know. I'm like, shit, I don't want to offend anybody.
Right. But like that's the thing is I think what would help people who don't know as much is like it's not going to offend anyone. Like it's not going to offend anyone as long as people stay teachable, right?
Yeah.
In my class, I'm like, you know, supposed to be this like feminist scholar, Emerson College, like, and there are terms that my students use that I'm like, what? And then they're like, oh yeah, that's the preferred use, like that what you just said is actually considered blah 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 because of blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, like, so I'm learning stuff all the time is the point. So like,
yeah,
this whole realm, people don't know about it till you do it. Like this is a field just the way like engineering is. Like why would you know about like engineering, or like why would you consider
Constantly
why
changes.
like software engineering,
Yeah. I'm sorry, the dog's yelling at me.
you're fine. I think it's a great background interest. Wow.
I don't know
Yeah,
what she
so
needs.
like,
Whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I think that this field is particularly hard for a lot of people because of the personal feelings surrounding it, and then like worried that you're like, if you do want to grow in this area, like worried that you're making missteps and like all of this, or like, you know, like a lot of people get screwed up around like pronouns, and they're so resistant to pronouns. I don't know that they're actually resistant to like using pronouns. It's that they're resistant to the fact that they feel they're going to hurt somebody. And so they just don't want to mess with it at all. And they can't even like think through that. Like, now there's some people who just like don't believe that someone should be able to select their own pronouns. And like, I don't have many words for those people. But the majority of people, the ones who have issues with it, aren't even because they're gender Nazis. It's because they like don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, and so they just like walk away from it. Like anything is a challenge, anything is something that's going to cause a little bit of strife. They're like, it's like laziness almost, in a weird way.
I don't think so. I mean, I can see it. Like, I think like laziness, I think, leads to like the secondary problem of like left-wing people being seen as elitist, right? Because like, it's like, oh, you're just ignorant. And so the people who are being called ignorant are like, well, you're a fucking elitist asshole. And then it just keeps going, well, you're an ignorant asshole. Well, you're an elitist asshole. Like, and it just keeps like.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm not one for moderateness. Like, I think being politically moderate is stupid, personally, because I don't think it does anything to be politically moderate. I think you just have different ideas from different parties and different, like, there's no such thing as middle. There's such a thing as like, I feel strongly about this, but not this, or like something like this.
Yeah.
Like feeling lukewarm on anything, I think is stupid. But anyways, my whole point is with access, when they're like these internet memes of like, sorry, I had like an ADD moment where I lost the point, but I'm back to the point, which is the internet is like short and it's not nuanced. Unfortunately, the internet is how we primarily communicate now. So people are not deeply considering things in their conversations. They're literally just firing shit off and like editing shit and then coming back to it. They don't have to deal with the person in real time. They don't have to deal with person's real responses and reactions, because they could just like block them if they wanted to. So they say whatever the shit they want. And so no one's actually learning. And so people hear words like check your privilege or like, oh, that's privilege, whatever, and like turn off. Like they're like, oh, your social justice warrior bullshit, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because it's not to make a white person feel bad, or it's not to make a smart person feel bad, or to make a rich person feel bad, or like, it's not all of us about you.
Be better. Yeah.
It's that recognize what you have so you don't look down upon the ones who don't, and you use what you have to help the rest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, it has nothing to do with bad. Just like, I am so sick of white people choosing to stay racist because they don't understand what being anti-racist means. They think being anti-racist means being anti-white. I'm like, you're so fucking stupid and ignorant. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I love that article that you sent to another institution, but as a reference of how you feel. Okay. So I kept that in my open tabs for like a week because I didn't have enough time to read it because it's freaking long. And then one day it was super slow at work and I took a break. I was like, I'm going to read this. I'm going to sit here and read this.
Fun.
Yeah, because I wanted to absorb it because I know that stuff.
We'll put the link in the
yes, we'll put the link. But I wanted to absorb it and I didn't want to just skim it. Like I really wanted to read it. So I was like, I need to wait to read this at a time. And because I'm trying to learn all the time too. I read and I do these one shots and stuff. But when I read something like that, it changes the perspective of how you view everything. It just does. And I like that. I think too, we have a weird, unique, I don't know if it's helpful, but like for us, well, for me, we moved a lot. Our whole belief system changed several times in our lives. For me personally, like I'm a different person before I experienced what it was like to care for somebody who had cancer, a child, and now a different person. And so there's these perspectives and there's these things that I saw. And even in the hospital realm where you have children who are dying, who because of their circumstances and where they were born and who they were born to, did not have access to the resources that somebody else did. And so you have these other people that have those resources sharing and fighting for that kid and sharing knowledge and information with the parents, and so like I saw a lot of that, and I didn't even see so much of it because I was still entrenched in my own life. But it's a really, really interesting thing when you're on that ground level with people. I mean, even just access to grief support. I ran a grief support group for 9 years, or I didn't run it the whole time, but like I was involved with them for 9 years. And you see these people who come in and say, I have no one. I didn't know anything. And now I have this group. Or you have other people that go, I like you guys, but I have this other group over here. I'm gonna stick over here. Or you have people that come in and say, my culture doesn't believe in grief sharing, but I need to do it. So now I'm learning what it's like. I don't even know what it's like to grieve with other people because my culture doesn't have any resources on it. Didn't even talk about it. You're dead and you're gone, and that's it. And so those people are coming in. Yeah, those have been real interesting where they come in and go, this is the only place that I could come and talk about the person that I lost. None of my family speaks about it. No one's, and because it's a culture thing. So you've got all these weird, like you have these things in life and generalized, you have these generalized things and these viewpoints, these access in college and all these things. But then you have these weird, not weird, but like really small, narrow niches where people really need from others that access gets cut off. And then think about the ramifications of that. It's real interesting to think about and to try to like, oh my gosh, you have to help everybody. How can we help everybody?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, ugh. And then the organization I work for now, where you have these women that, because of their lack of access or lack of resources or whatever it was at the time, usually they don't have a dad in the home. Usually they're raised by, sometimes they're raised by grandparents, but most typically they do not come from a nuclear family type of atmosphere. My cats, and do you hear the cat and dog terrorizing the universe back here? She just knocked over her tree.
It's going to be the reason for our 16th subscriber. It's your kitties, your kitty and
yeah, my cat and the dog yelling at. She yelled at her a minute ago because they never fight, but the cat got close to her bone, and the world ended.
Oh, and then
got close, and the dog was not having it anyway. But that's been interesting too, watching that and like watching how these women, when given access, when given, the ability to rise, how far they rise.
Right.
How creative their minds are. How strong they become. Right. And not only do they get there, they bring with them the wisdom of the shit of life. And you combine those two and you make a freaking powerful human being. Yeah. And you can't match that. It's unbelievable. So imagine if we did that with everyone. It would be incredible. I don't know how to solve it, but somebody solve it.
Well, I'm doing my part.
You are doing your part.
You can do your part with what you're doing already. We can't do it all, but we can do what we can do.
We're doing what we do.
Ew, that made me look like I had weird bangs.
Oh my gosh, let's see you with bangs. But they're curly. That's not. You kind of look like Jane.
Oh. Well, it's like a little kid face to make.
Yeah, let's get my bang back. Here, wait.
A kid face.
Look how long my bangs have grown.
Wow.
I know. It's my goal. I always get to where, okay, I'm going to grow my bangs out as long as my hair. And then I never make it. I always trouble.
Never do it.
But I'm going for it.
I'm on with my hair today. I don't even know. Last week
Here you
was something quite similar, I feel.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of, last week's episode is not posted. Okay,
I don't think
so
we need to post it.
guess
It was
what?
lame.
It wasn't good.
That's lame. We're not gonna do the lame one. You know, and this is why, ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies and 2 gentlemen, I think. Here's why. We get on and we talk to each other and we bond. Not that we don't talk like literally every day, but when you see the person and you're talking and you're laughing, you get a groove going, and then you start the show. Well, last week we just started the show. It was like fresh, and it was like I don't know, just what our vibe wasn't there,
It wasn't good.
and it led to weird ass.
I feel like we still need to share it. We still need to
We
do
can
the last episode. We still need to do that, but we can talk about it. Like in the description,
Okay, well-
we can be like, just ignore this one. Because
Here's 2 bombs. We're gonna drop them
just
both at the same
ignore
time.
it. We can just release
This
it
one
all
is
on the
better.
same day and just be like, skip pool, skip whatever last week's word was. I don't even remember. What?
What was
Really,
it?
it was dumb. And we did not resonate with it, clearly. I don't even know what it was. I can't even
No.
remember what it was.
All I know is that
Okay,
we talked
but-
about nasty things.
We talked about nasty things. We did. Nasty things.
The first thing we talked about was oral sex. I was trying to say fellatio is the right one, right? Heavy petting.
Did you just whisper oral sex? You can take the girl out of the Mormon, but you can't take the Mormon out of the girl. I'm so prudy. It's hilarious because everyone says I like seem so sexual, like at work. Everyone thinks I'm like super sexual. Like I'm literally been described that way. Weird, fucking weird. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, that is hilarious because I am the most prudish, ridiculous person until I get turned on and then I'm a psycho. But when I'm not turned on, I can't even say real words without giggling. Maybe it's not prudish. Maybe it's not prudish. Maybe it's like not wanting to weird. I don't know.
My whisper just now is because I didn't want to weird you out. I could say suck a dick. That was fine with me. But I was like,
You know
I
what?
know. For you, I'm like,
Maybe it's not that I'm sexual. Maybe it's that I'm a pervert and they don't know how to say you're a pervert. And maybe this whole time I've been thinking they like think I'm sexy when really they just think I'm a pervert, which is true.
I'm like sexual.
Yeah, like I'm super perverted.
It's like, oh. I don't think anybody's ever described me as sexual at work. That would be.
Oh, it's weird. Academia
It's
crosses
weird.
every single boundary you could ever.
Yeah. For being so woke, y'all ain't woke.
No,
Well-
it's the academic freedom thing. It's not
Yeah,
the woke thing.
It's not the
It's
woke.
the you don't get
Free
to
speech.
silence me thing. Like, yeah, it's like academic freedom.
We're just gonna
I can
be
do
who
whatever
we
I
are.
want because I am the scholar. Like I
Yeah,
do whatever I
I do.
academic
People watch
governance.
that at work. People be like, "What? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what?"
Be like, I can talk about fellatio and then grade your papers. I don't even know. I don't know like who this person is. But
Yeah, I would not talk about fellatio at work. Not.
I definitely have talked about all kinds of disgusting things at work.
Well, like to one coworker, or like in a group.
Oh, in a group.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which is why
I
I
would say
started
between
being
the two of
fired for
us-
being sexist. That's how you knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
So overt.
That's bad. I think between the two of us, I mean, like, well, I don't know. We both like sex a lot, but I probably talk about it a lot more, but not at work. Never. Oh my God. Mm-mm.
You're the more sexual between us, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious because it's like the thing. See, this is the thing. This is why perception, you can't rely on your own perceptions, people.
No.
Because there are two things that I think someone watching us would think. One,
Okay.
C1 takes more showers. Two, C2 is more like crazy hound sexual like. Because look at her. She's like dirty. But
Both?
she's the sexual hound. And I am the anal, retentive, OCD, like perfectionist. I just don't apply that to my visage.
Yeah. And I'll be like, that looks good.
Right. Visage. Okay, visage.
That was a good word, by the way. I was like,
Well,
that was.
here's the thing, is my husband, he was like, I said that. I said it in some other context. And he was like, it's visage.
What? It is?
Well, that's what I said. I was like, no.
Well, did you look it up?
Yes.
What is it?
I think he was right, and I blocked it because I couldn't fathom that he was right. So let's just.
There's another word that people say wrong, and I just looked it up the other day. Oh, shit. I can't remember now.
Here, let's play it.
Visage.
Oh.
It is visage. Is it playing it?
What the hell? Play it.
Play it.
Play it.
Allow.
No, I don't want it to like. Oh, play.
Visage.
And then I was like, no, you can pronounce it different ways.
Yeah, you can do both.
I like doubled down. Okay, here we go.
Visage. In British English. Visage.
Oh no.
Oh. It's visage everywhere.
Okay, I'll try it.
Visage. In Welsh.
Oh, come on.
Visage.
They're all visage.
Visage. And here's the reason that I said it, which is hysterical. Clearly, our entire life revolves around Drag Race.
Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and share the video.
There we go.
I'm gonna share. Let's share, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, let's subscribe and share the visage video. I should, so that I don't like insist on saying.
Oh, it's going on our blog.
Yeah.
We're sharing it. Right?
Yes. Because this is how ridiculous. I was so convinced that I was correct, that he played it. And I'm like, no, there must be another way you can pronounce it.
Oh no, you did back to him what he did to you.
Yes. Yes. And here's the thing, is I have come to realize how similar he and I are. And so I have kind of been able to stop critiquing him because I realize that when I critique him, I'm only critiquing myself. He doesn't realize that yet. And so when he critiques me in my mind, I'm just like you. Like when he says that I can't say I'm sorry, I'm like, like I just want to laugh in his face. Hashtag married life.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like those videos where they're like boyfriend, girlfriend, like dating and then marriage. Like dating, you're like all in the other one, and then marriage is like a line and you're like crossing, like get over.
Cross my line.
Yeah.
You can come over my line when we're doing the nasty. As soon as the nasty has been accomplished and we are both feeling satisfied, you back on over the hump of the bed. There's a hump in the middle of the bed when you're fat, see? And it gets settled and you have to heap over the cross to the other person's side.
Okay, wait a minute. Do you not ever sleep like spooned or intertwined?
Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. What? Do grown adults sleep intertwined?
Yes.
Do grown adults sleep touching? No, bitch. No.
Oh my God. I mean, I will say sleeping alone in the bed is 10 times cooler because you're just like, last night I wanted to use a different pillow. So I just hunked my body over there and lay down across the bed.
Right.
Because no one's there in my space. No one's telling me I need to get a bigger bed. F you, I like my queen size. It's not made for you. I bought it for me. I didn't make it for anybody.
Why?
else.
Because you're the queen.
That's right. I have had a queen size bed my whole life.
Yeah.
King sizes are great, but I don't know. I like more room in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, whatever. That's a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also cheap, so.
Well, that's when you say, if you have issues with my bed, you can buy me a new house to fit a larger one. Thanks. Yeah. So I could not deal with a queen. I have a king, and we don't share blankets. There's the answer to your question. It has saved my marriage. My advice to all of you, don't share blankets.
I love this idea.
Oh, because you like different temperatures, you like different things.
Yeah.
Things.
I
Just
need a
like
blanket.
different things.
Need one. Yeah. And the
Wow,
sheet,
like
I can't handle just the blanket. I have to
blanket. I have literally like pounds and pounds of blanket on top of me, suffocating me to help me sleep at night. And he has a little like flimsy fleece tiger. It's a literal tiger. It's got a tiger blanket.
Tiger blanket.
From Mexico.
Ooh. I love it. Well,
thinking about access. When you were talking about your sort of feelings about like your organization and all that stuff, it got me thinking about accessing things in our brain and like accessing memories. Like, what do we have access to?
Yeah.
And, thinking about early childhood memories, stuff we've been talking a lot lately with like in our own personal lives, viewers, in our own personal lives.
We talk outside.
We're talking a lot about like childhood memories and like what you do and do not have access to.
Mm-hmm.
It gets dark real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And I find myself like, as I make my own personal developments, like weirdly hoping that my daughter can't access certain like things. Like as I was learning how to be a mom and stuff, like I would get really frustrated with breastfeeding, and I would get like, and I hope that she doesn't remember that. And she only remembers the fact that she slept next to me for like the first 2 years of her life.
Yeah.
But she won't remember that. But hopefully she'll remember that in her bones.
Yeah, they do. They remember that a lot in your bones. I've been reading a lot about that entire concept right there of the first few months of what the child feels when they're bonding with that mother. And if you have an aloof mother, or if you have, particularly mothers, like fathers are one thing, but again, there's something different about the mother being there. Mm-hmm. And so that connection and them not feeling that connection, they already start to form differently in their lives.
Mhm.
And they end up being different later in life, just by nature of that.
Yeah, like I think a lot. Yeah, it's distressing to me, this idea of access and what like you can and can't access and how that affects you, because like, so Trump was elected when my daughter was really young,
Mhm.
and that was very distressing for me and my spouse, because it was not because of Trump, because he's just an idiot, but because of the millions of people who were willing to vote for this person. Like, that's the world that we just brought our daughter into. It's like big yikes. But it wasn't really like a difference of opinion. Like that situation, in my opinion, was a difference in like the values and like respect, and just like, I was repulsed that that happened. And I remember like just all my hope died that night. And the way we found out was so distressing. And like, I feel like we're just not the same. Because like, so we were waiting up watching, and Ramona was screaming. She was a baby, you know, baby. She was born in February, and Trump was elected in November of that year. And of that year. So I think, 2020, it should be
2016.
November 2016 was the election, and then started in 17, right? Yeah. So, so it's not like it was easy, but I just had like at least a small glimmer of hope left that the nation wouldn't be so patriarchal as to choose someone who actively said he would grab a bunch of women's pussies and not worry about it. Like, I just really wanted to believe that people like felt like women were better than that, perhaps.
Women did feel that way, and huge numbers of women's organizations have risen from Trump's, but I'm not discounting what you're saying.
Well, huge amounts of white women voted for him.
Yes.
And the second time as well. And so, even after seeing exactly what was expected, people still voted for him. Yeah. So my point is like, she was screaming, and I just had to go to bed, and like he and I were waiting up to see, like, this could not possibly be true. And we're like watching it could not possibly be true, just like despondent.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't think we're gonna know, like, you should go to bed and whatever. Because I'm like, okay. So I go to bed, and I said, wake me up when there's like results. Because she was screaming, and she wouldn't go to bed without me at that time. Like, she would not go to sleep unless I was with her. And so, which she's always kind of slept easier with me around. But anyways, I remember I was still kind of awake. I hadn't fallen asleep all the way yet, or I was fitful, and she was nursing. So like, I would sleep like this. She'd be here, and I'd sleep like this. And when she'd wake up, I'd just like slam a boob in her face.
Yeah.
So like, I was holding her like that, and he comes in, and he was like, Trump is the president. Trump's going to be the president. Something like that. He'd remember the quote.
Oh, okay.
Like, what? Like, like, I couldn't believe it. I like could not believe it. I mean, I should have, I guess, but like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe that people were that partisan and that idiotic about republicanism, that they would vote for someone like that simply because he's calling himself a Republican today, which he didn't like just a few years ago, but like, clearly none of you pay attention. He was in New York, for heaven's sake. What are you thinking? But anyways, so, and I've been like such a horror show mess ever since.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's really super fucking important to me. And people are like, oh, just don't watch the news, or like don't read the blah blah blah. And I'm like,
They
That's
tell
not-
you things like that.
oh, that's like the general advice. To like unplug a little. Like, and I'm like, so if being informed about our world is causing my anxiety and depression, like that's a problem. Like, do you see the problem? Like, if facing reality causes anxiety and depression, do you see the motherfucking problem?
Well, I know it would cause that for me, so I just choose to live in my little intellectualized world.
Oh, I know. I know. That's what everybody does.
It's fine.
Not everyone's
It's
in
fine.
an intellectualized world, but like that's what people do. Or like they'll do the D2 thing of
No, I
like
know.
head in the sand. Head in the sand. That's another one. Like there's all these coping.
No, but you can't when it
It's
comes
not
to world
real.
affairs. You can't. I'm talking about my personal affairs, but with world affairs, like thank God for people that stay loud and obnoxious to others, but that stay loud and keep those voices going because we need them. We have to have them.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Oof.
started ignoring people, like trying to silence my ass because I'm just like, no one else is going to do it because everyone gets tired. And I'm tired too. I'm tired of being the person that everyone thinks is a psycho. Like, I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. But you know what?
No, but
Who
you're
else is
making
going to do
moves.
it?
Yeah.
If not me, who?
Yes. The impact of one person.
And even
It's
I
huge.
sit on my ass and eat all the time. Like, and don't do jack shit. So like if someone who really is trying spends a lot of time doing jack shit, like we need a lot of people to turn this ship around.
Yeah, we do. It's rough. Were you gonna liken that to Ramona accessing things?
Yes. So yeah, sorry. It was connected in my mind, but clearly it
Yeah,
wasn't.
no, I know.
So what I was saying is since I've been that way, like I worry that she'll like sense my anxiety or like sense my, or like am I the reason that she's anxious? I'm like, well, no, I mean, me and B's genetics kind of made her where she is. But like I get into like the mother guilt shit. I'm like, oh shit, like was it my shit that caused her shit?
Yeah.
You just start like,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah. I know you don't know, but
I'm like wild all the time. Maybe she's like feeling that as like psycho unstable or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know until you get later and then you realize you're like, oh. But I don't think so. I mean, I'm on the outside, but what I do witness of the way that she comes to you and cradles in your arms and her happiness factor is like nothing I've ever seen.
Okay.
So it seems she knows she's safe. And the way that she talks, like she'll play with me, but she adores you two. You know, like she'll play at Aunt Chris and it's fun when I'm there and it's like this thing. But when she needs safety and security, mom, you know, and that's a good sign because one of the things that I was talking about in my therapy was that lack of feeling safe and secure. I never felt safe and secure.
Right. It's
Ever.
anxiety producing.
Yeah. So like we made our own security. I made my own security in my head.
Oh, good.
With intellectualizing. So like I just like, okay, well, it's like this
coping mechanism. Right.
Yeah. So, but when I get older, I'm going to change it and it's not going to be this way. And you know, whatever. But that safety and security factor is something I never felt, but you can tell she feels that to her bones.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it feels like either for the same reason that you feel that way. But
I
like,
just observe it. Like Zachary knows that he knows he feels less safe in other environments.
mhm.
But he knows with me, regardless of any of the other shit that has come in this house and gone with him around, he knows, and he's told me, at least he's told me, and according to the people that know better than me,
Mhm.
we're good, because children will tell you. But he'll say to me, "Ah, you always have my back. It's always, I'm always with you, and
Yeah.
he always feels safe with me, always feels good, and protected."
That's
And blah,
good.
blah, blah. A little too much because it's kind of a butt sometimes, but
Mhm.
I'd
But
rather.
that's the
I'd
thing
rather.
is like, my daughter is shitty to me too.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where they're comfortable enough to beat on you, and you have to teach them, listen, I am the one cheerleading for you. So don't treat me bad. I'm the one thing here for you, you punk.
Yeah. And like
And
B's
then
always
they're
having
like, oh,
to tell
well,
her,
okay.
like, B told her, treat me better than your teacher.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
he said her brain short-circuited when he said
Yeah. They're like, what? And the thing
Like-
is like, they know how they're supposed to behave, but they don't feel that way to them. So they feel this other way to you, but then they just act however they want. And I'm like, no, it still doesn't apply.
right.
Still does not apply. Still don't go be a dick
I'm
to me.
still learning that lesson. Getting better though.
Yeah. About the people closest to you.
Yeah. I just like, I'm like, it's because I have such intense social anxiety that like I'm just so tired by the end of
that you don't have
by the
anything
time
left.
I get home, I'm like, I have nothing left for you.
Oh.
I have no energy left because my job is like having people in my face all day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every second, every decade. Oh, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Let me help you. Let me help you. Oh, you need help. You need help. You need help. What about you? You need help. And the people that actually need my help
Yeah.
in a shell of a woman.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. That's rough. That's really rough because the world is built the other way. Like that energizes me, but that is not energizing to most people. My level of energy annoys people.
The weird thing is I have a ton of energy as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, it's like a helping energy that I just
Yeah,
run
it's
out.
different.
I don't know. Compassion fatigue, they say.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Burnout is real, ladies and gents.
And think about compassion fatigue from our mother,
Okay.
who is required to try to be help all day long, and she hates it.
Yes.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And think about 4 little babies that need, oh, what is that? What is this?
Sex on a stick.
4 babies that need your help all day long.
I think about that all the time. All the time.
Because you don't
If I had just one additional baby, I would be losing my fucking shit. And she had 4. Granted, I have a job and stuff. I wouldn't be as anxious if I could just be a caretaker. But I'm not.
Yeah.
I have to work and I have to do all this other shit.
Yeah. I would
Who
be
cares? That's all I bitch about.
a caretaker.
Huh? What?
I said I would be more anxious and more depressed if I was only a caretaker.
Yeah.
I literally lose my mind.
Yeah.
I would be like,
well, see, but that's the thing is like some people see,
not because of the work, because I want to do other things.
Right. So I would find that life more conducive to the things I want to do. That's the problem.
Yeah, you would, because you wouldn't, because I like going into the office and talking to people.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
I love that shit. You want to do your own thing and work on your own projects and find time to do this and this and this. So it would be more conducive if you didn't go into it.
Yeah, it's my dream life. Like, and when my spouse is like, this is so hard, I'm just like, shut up. In my mind. And that's a problem because it is super hard. but because I want it so bad, like, and I'm like, well, switch me lives for a moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to be. In my heart, I want to. What do you want for your life for 2022? This is our last show before the new year.
Yeah, it is. I really have a lot of what I want in life. I have a place that I'm settled in with like my stuff around, and my son is doing well, and I love my job, so I love that. I have goals. Like I want to start playing my piano more and stuff, and like
Okay.
that kind of thing.
So playing piano more.
Yeah, I want to play piano more.
Okay.
But other than that, like I don't have a lot of stuff. Like I'm pretty happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My goal for 2022 is to state my needs in a clearer way without emotion.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
It's a heavier one than play piano. But I'm working with, I have some things I want to work through, but like last year, my goal was to not have someone scream at me every 3 days. So
And you accomplished it. Happy New Year!
Yay, did it. Checked off the list. Bye, Isaka. So since that's gone, yeah, just I feel in control of my home life. And that to me is the number one most important thing.
I am the same exact way.
I want it to be peaceful.
I
want my home. I want to put stuff where I want it. I want to decorate it the way I want to. I want my home to be my home and my space. You can come visit, but then you got to go.
Unfortunately, I'm also the same.
And I like being home though. That's the thing. I went and visited, I think my son can be in other places probably because the way he's grown up, because he's going from house to house all the time. But he feels comfortable with with his things that he's got. He takes his little backpack everywhere and his dog. He's good. For me, I'm like, I want to be in my home. I want my things. I want all my makeup. I don't want just what I packed for here. I want all my shoes. But it's more than that. I want my atmosphere. I want to be able to go in my room and sit and do. Then I want to come out here and sit and do. And I want to do I want my space. So I don't like traveling.
Feel peace is a place we control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if that is what we have not accessed.
Response.
The lack of control so early on in our lives that I don't feel like I'm a control freak by any means, but there is my home situation. I want that to be. So if you come in and you try to come in and make that chaotic, you will be leaving.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, peaceful home is my number one goal.
Yeah.
In all of
it was not, I never had a peaceful home growing up.
Home is not peaceful. I can't think. I can't work. I can't think. Like I'm just like short circuiting. Like I know you're really good with compartmentalizing because you've had to be, but
I've had to be.
I'm like destroyed.
And that's hard too. And it's interesting when a few people, because I can compartmentalize so well out of trauma, but that's used against me. You don't care. You just must not care. I'm like, I'm sorry. I had to go to like Target and my kid just died. So like I had to figure out how to buy milk for my baby, and the world was still moving and mine stopped and my heart was broken, but I had to go take care of things. So I'm sorry that I'm able to force myself to go to Target and get what I need while feeling like I want to die in a hole. So now you're going to take it and use it against me?
Right. That's right. FOF. FOF.
Oh, FOF.
FOF you. Ooh, ooh. We did it. FOF is the way that we can say fuck
Yeah. Fuck.
means fuck forever.
Forever.
Fuck you, everybody. Fuck you. Except for, guess how many subscribers we have?
How many?
We have 17.
Oh my gosh.
We are
That's like
three
a
away
25%
from
increase.
20.
We're growing. Our growth
Wait,
rate
what'd you
is
say? What'd you say?
like a
What's your
25%
favorite number?
increase.
Oh, you're so smart. You figured that out so fast.
It's probably not right, but it's an increase.
It
Of
is an
about-
increase.
We had what? We had 13?
I don't know. But we have 17 now. And to you 17 people, we love you. To the rest of you, off.
And that's our show.